Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Dayna with From Fertility to Delivery. Today I wanted to talk about the very tender and sensitive subject of miscarriage and also stillbirth. In the past 2 years, we have seen miscarriage rates rise, and this is coming from the horse's mouth, from OBGYN, gynecologists, midwives. There's a lot of research online, and I've done some of it. I put some of it on my Rumble channel that I'll link in the links that you find on this YouTube channel or wherever you found my content. But miscarriage has a lot of physical reasons. I am not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional, so I'm not going to talk about the physical reasons, but I am going to talk more about the spiritual and energetic reasons for miscarriage. Some of the spiritual reasons for miscarriage is that the baby, the spirit baby, is not ready to come earth-bound. Earth is a very hard planet to live on and to deal with. And a lot of souls, they think they're ready, but when they get to the point where they're ready to descend and come earthbound, they bow out gracefully. They go back and retreat into the spirit world, and they just take a little bit more time to make their decision to come back to earth. Some other reasons is that the spirit baby is actually ready, but the embryo that's being formed, they reject it because of possible certain defects or certain attributes that they don't want to have in that life. And then they choose to come at a later date. Those are considered rainbow babies. We've heard a lot of nicknames that we give that type of soul. Then we have some of the well-known physical attributes that cause miscarriage, like certain radiation. When you go to the dentist and they ask you if you're pregnant because you have to take x-rays, and if you tell them you are, they don't take those x-rays those days. That is a typical example of how energy and radiation can affect the fetus. And also there may be substances like alcohol. We all know that you're not supposed to drink alcohol while you're trying to get into that baby making phase. So those are some well-known, no one needs to be a doctor to explain those types of attributes that happen. And with regards to all of those in general, they do happen. It's most heartbreaking thing when it does happen. So again, my heart goes out to all of you that have had a miscarriage. Now, a lot of couples, especially the women, they suffer in silence, whether they tell their partner or not. They don't share this because it's so hard, and it's very heartbreaking to deal with, especially if you've been on the parenthood journey for a very long time. And every conception, you get excited, but you're also fearful as well. That fear factor comes in because is it going to happen again? So those types of things, those are the energetic influences that happen with regards to miscarriage. Going back to doing research on why miscarriage has increased, go ahead and do your own research. I'm not here to be anyone's guru or to tell you what to think or what to do. I want you to use your own discernment. But when I did some research recently, I found information from credible sources, and that is really the only thing that I'm going to present to my audience. When it comes to some other information that I found online, they were using the changes in the climate change to actually say that is what was causing miscarriage, the overheating of the planet. Now let's think about that for a second. Let's talk about India. In India has one of the world's highest populations, and it's one of the hottest, steamiest continents out there. And does that make sense to you? Does an increase in the temperature make sense when it comes to miscarriage? this is the type of research and the type of contemplation that I would like everybody to take when they're doing their research to see what's out there and what's happening on the scene when it comes to miscarriage. So what I'm here to talk about today is to just kind of lend some more information from a spiritual perspective. I am working on a class that talks about ways to stay in alignment so that you can assist the spirit baby in the alignment of coming to earth. In the last 80 or so years, the veil of amnesia that you go through between the spirit world and earth, that veil has been thinning. So what does that mean? The feelings that you get as you create and you start to move earthside in that first 3 months, the first trimester, you have more accessibility to all of the lives that you've had on planet Earth. And when you come into that new fetus, basically, the first 3 months, the first trimester, you have to go in and really connect to all of the feelings you've had with regards to all of the past lives that you've had. And again, this is talking from a very spiritual, highly connected resource. I just want to make sure I can explain this correctly. So when let's say, for instance, for example, if you had a lot of torture, a lot of trauma, a lot of abuse in one of your recent past lives, and you try to come back into a body in a new life, in a new incarnation, you're going to feel that much more than you would have 80, 100 years ago. And because of that, it's a shock to the system, and it's a shock to the actual spirit baby. So they actually retreat back into the spirit world, and that creates a miscarriage. That's on a very energetic level. So those are some of the many reasons for miscarriage. And I did a spirit baby fertility series, which I'll put a link in this video about miscarriage, going into some more details I go into in that spiritual fertility series. So please take a look at that and go ahead and do your own research. But after a miscarriage, there is a big need to go within and to heal. So do things that you need to do to heal. Take time if you need to. I know there's such a rush to start the family, to, you know, get that part of your life going. I know I did. I had my first child with my husband at 38 years old, and then the second one came at 40. So I understand that late bloomer aspect where you feel like you're not keeping up with your friends. You feel kind of like you're left out of certain circles because you haven't started that. And I always had the tug, that feeling that I was going to be a mother, I was going to be a parent, and that tug never left until we starting to have a family. So that tug, if you keep having that, where you're having your heart strings tugged, that is your spirit baby on the other side saying, don't give up on me. Don't give up on us. Don't give up on parenthood. And that part is really emotional because maybe a part of you is ready to throw in the towel, but just realize that they want you. They want to come through you. They want you to be their mother or father. And that is their choice. And there are soul contracts that are involved. And I go and talk about that in my spiritual fertility content that I have on YouTube as well. So I just wanted to bring that up today. I will be talking more about classes that I'm in the process of creating them, but classes that teach you how to align with your energy, your vibration, your frequency, because what we are seeing, thought leaders in the actual energetic, metaphysical aspects of fertility, is that it is an energy block that is creating blocks with your fertility, and releasing those energy blocks, creating the alignment, flowing with what's happening. that creates a conducive environment for fertility and successful fertility, and also childbirth, which I also talk about and discuss on my social media, and I also offer hypnobirthing classes online. So my website is www.fromfertilitytodelivery.com, and I'm also on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And I'm here to help. If you have any questions, please send me an email. You'll find it in my information on my website, and or you could send me a direct message, a personal message if you have any questions. For all of those of you that are watching this that are not necessarily in the parenthood arena right now, maybe you've already had children, send a wave of love from your heart out to all of the women that have had a miscarriage recently, and send that wave as a big hug of light for them so that they can feel some warmth and care as they go through this really tough, tender time in their lives. I send you many, many blessings, and I wish you much success. I'm right here rooting for you and creating content to help you with your fertility journey. Many blessings.